sure my volume's turned down. That way it doesn't create a massive echo. Let me see here. Let me make sure everything's working according to plan. Go to Twitch. Should be live on YouTube. Turn off that. Where's my phone? Phone. Where are you at? Actually, don't know where my phone is. Don't go anywhere. Where is my phone? Well, that's really weird. Somebody did something! Somebody subscribed, I'm assuming. I don't know where my phone's at. Alright, I don't know where my cell phone is, which is not good. I kind of need it. It's kind of important. I'll get to questions here in 2 seconds. There's my phone. Okay, I found it. Crisis averted. Okay, so what's up, guys? Hello, it's been a while. I haven't streamed for probably about 2 weeks now. It's been a long time. So, hello. Thank you, Obi Ellis, for your subscription on Twitch. I appreciate it. Let a little bit more viewers come in. Swanee looking kind of nice. Is he single? Yes, Swanee's single. Alright, we'll let a couple more people come in. Now that I'm, like, officially allowed to talk about stuff, now that the embargo's been lifted or whatnot. Yeah, I've not been streaming because I've been, like, grinding the absolute hell out of Cyberpunk. It's been kind of nice taking a break from streaming. I don't know, it's kind of refreshing in a way. We're going to pop out the chat on Twitch and bring it over to the YouTube screen. That way I can see both. Okay, so hit me with your questions. This is going to be like spoiler free. I'm not going to talk about anything like story related, but I'll answer your guys' like gameplay questions and stuff. And like review kind of questions. Let me see. Thank you, Deadlight Gaming, for your resub. I cannot show you gameplay. That's one thing I can't do, because if I show gameplay, I will get a copyright strike.
Thank God this is on Twitch too. I had no power over on YT.
Yeah, nobody is allowed to show gameplay until Wednesday, or I would show gameplay, but I can, however, talk about it. So let me see here. Is there tactical gear? If you mean like, is there gear related to, you know, like military grade kind of gear? Yes. Like in the game now, my character has a military kind of helmet, and he's got a like military kind of tactical vest. But then I'm also wearing like a pink undershirt and like this bright neon green shorts and like goofy looking shoes. So I've got a tactical helmet and like really goofy everything else, and I look kind of like an idiot. But yeah, there is tactical gear, and you can upgrade your gear too. So if you like get really into crafting, you can craft your own gear. Like that's a thing. You can just craft your own armor, and then you can upgrade it. And then if you put your perks into the right tree, you can, like, say you find a helmet, but you find something else better than that helmet. Well, you can upgrade your favorite helmet later on so that it's better, and then you can just keep upgrading your gear over and over. You cannot play in third person. The only third person is when you're driving your vehicles. That's the only third person that there is. Is Judy a male v romance option? I've not done any of the romance stuff yet. I know a lot of people in the reviews have rushed the story stuff and they've rushed the romance and stuff. When I play RPGs, I like to experience everything in an RPG. That's something that's kind of pissing me off about all these reviews that have been coming out, because they're like, this game's so short and this game's so shitty, but they haven't experienced the entire game. Like when I played Skyrim, for example, if I played Skyrim just for the story mode and then was done with it, I'd be pretty disappointed with Skyrim. But the reason I love Skyrim is, like, there's all these side things and you explore and you go on adventures. And that's what makes the game so special to me, is like all the things that you do outside of the main story. And that's kind of how I feel about Cyberpunk, is there's so many things that you can do outside of the main story that that's what makes the game special. Oh. How would I rate the worst bug? Yeah, let me talk about the bugs for a little bit, because a lot of people were giving me shit saying that the game was buggy, and like, how dare I like Skyrim and Bethesda games if I can't experience these bugs or deal with these bugs.
Happy to see views are way up.
Well, thanks, Admiral Akbar, for the sub. The bugs that I've been experiencing, which I would imagine most of them are going to get fixed with the day one update, but they are pretty horrible. I don't know why they would want people to like review the game and play the game in this state. They're not, how do I even put this? It's more of like the game not being optimized kind of a deal. Like, I'll drive around and things don't load. So like, say I'm driving down the street and the buildings aren't loading around me, or the people aren't loading around me. So I'll have to sit there and stop for like 30 seconds to let the environment load before I can continue playing. So like, let's say I'm going to go do a mission and I show up to this new area really fast on my bike, going as fast as I can go. The area is not loaded. If I keep pushing the game, once it's not loaded, it just crashes my game completely. So I've just been playing on the Xbox One, which has probably got a lot to do with my problems. I've not played on a PC. A lot of the reviewers all played on PC, so that's obviously going to make a big difference. I wanted to play this on PC or PS5, but I could only get my hands on the Xbox One version, so that's probably why I have so many graphical problems. But what else is there? Oh, like, you kill people and their inventory, like their guns, will float in midair. That happens all the time. What else is there that happens? People talk over each other. Elevators don't work sometimes. Oh, I had one game-breaking bug where I had to go back 2 hours into my gameplay session because all my saves kept overwriting. I had a bug that was so bad that it, like, there's a point in the game where, like, it's not really a spoiler, but like, you can't use your weapon because there's like a cutscene. Well, that cutscene glitched into the gameplay, so like the game wouldn't register that I was allowed to use my weapons at the time. So I was playing for like an hour and I couldn't get my weapons to come out. Like, no matter what I tried, I could not draw my weapons. So I had to completely go back like 2 hours into my gameplay and restart because I couldn't get my guns to work. But I would imagine most of that stuff's going to get fixed in the day one patch. That's why I'm like not shitting on it too hard. I mean, I expect there to be bugs and glitches before the game comes out. Yeah, see, I haven't romanced anything yet, guys. I slept with a prostitute, and it gives you like this little cutscene where you're like having sex, but I haven't done any of like the major uh, romance options yet because I don't. I've been like doing side missions and stuff because the side missions affect the main story. See, like that I don't understand why everyone's trying to rush the story and get it done as fast as possible with the reviews because the side stuff you do really affects the main story. So, for example, like I've been playing the main story and I'll notice there's these dialogue options, but they're locked because I'm not a high enough level. So, I can't pick those extra dialogue options in the story mode. I'm missing out on those different options and different branches I could take the story because I'm not a high enough level. So I took a break, leveled up my character like a good 15 times, did a bunch of side stuff. I did some side missions, and then I went back to the story and I started noticing I was a high enough level to do these like extra dialogue options. So uh, say there's a dialogue option that pops up and I have to have level 15 tech skill. Well, if you just play through the story, you're not going to reach 15 tech skill. So because I went out and I leveled my character up and I had 15 tech skill, it gave me a different dialogue option. And I even like paused the game, did a save, and I loaded it and picked both options to see if there was really a difference. And there actually was a difference to the outcome of the story mission based off of those different dialogue options. So the game is designed for you to do side quests. Like they want you to do side missions instead of just, speed running through the story mode. Like you get way better rewards and a better experience if you take the time to do the side quests alongside the main story. Um what's another example of that? I noticed like when I was playing the main story, because I did some of the side quests, they referenced those side quests in the main story. So if you do the side quests, they actually do affect the outcome of the main story. So, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why everybody's trying to rush through and beat the game in like 15 hours and then bitch that the game's short. Like, of course it is if you do that. That could be said for any RPG. Like, if I just played The Witcher 3 and did nothing but the story and no side quests, I mean, The Witcher 3 isn't going to be as good as what everybody loved about it. Can I buy different apartments and houses? Thank you for the $5, by the way. You are stuck with V's apartment, to answer your question. The apartment was kind of a letdown for me. When it comes to the apartment,
Houses in the game, or
um,
stuck in this apartment.
here, let me mute my, whatever. There we go. That way I can't hear echo. For the apartments, it's kind of useless. Like you can store stuff there at your apartment, but honestly, I haven't really stored any of my weapons or clothes because I just sell what I don't want to keep because it's kind of hard to make money in this game. So I'll go around like looting every single person I find and then I'll sell their weapons and their armor. That way I can make more money to buy, better upgrades and stuff. But you can't customize your apartment and there's no fast travel point to the apartment. So like you can't just travel to your apartment instantly. You have to fast travel to a part that's closest to your apartment and then physically walk there, go up an elevator, go down a hallway, and it's such a pain in the ass to get to your apartment. There's no reason to go to your apartment. It's kind of a letdown. So I hope that they change that. It'd be real simple to just make your apartment a fast travel point and that would solve that issue. But hopefully in the future they add more things to the apartment because I've seen that there's so many people requesting apartment stuff that they might add that in the future. Cock size? You don't have to stop spamming cock size. Yeah, you can change your or the size of your penis. You have small, medium, and large, but the penis size doesn't really matter. Other than my inventory screen, you don't really see your penis. That like I haven't seen my penis other than the inventory screen. And what's weird is like when you change your pants, if you have nudity turned on, anytime you switch your pants, it'll briefly show you're naked. So you like, if I'm switching from shorts to pants, it'll show my wiener for like 2 seconds before he changes the outfit. Do they force sex stuff in your face or do you have to go out of your way? I mean, there's sexual things. There's like dildos all over the place that you can collect as junk. There's like sexy advertisements and stuff. It's not really forced down your throat. I mean, you can avoid it. You don't have to go out and have sex with prostitutes or romance anybody. So, I wouldn't say it's that in your face, but it definitely has like some of the most dildos I've ever seen in a game. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot of dildos. But I did try. I know this question's come up a lot just in general videos that I've done, but people ask if you can run around naked, and you can, but you can't. Like if I took off all my clothes in the inventory screen, it'll show you naked, but when you look down, it shows that you're wearing underwear. So I guess I don't know if there's going to be like a setting that you can like turn that on or off. I don't think there is. But if you take off all your clothes and look down where your penis would be, it just shows that you're wearing boxers. So you can't run through the streets of Night City completely naked, which I was kind of hoping that you could, but you can't. So that kind of sucks. What was that other super chat? What's the point of Corpo Life Path if you can't buy a house in North Oak? I don't know what to tell you. Okay, let's talk about the life paths for a second. I know this is gonna make a lot of you guys upset. On Wednesday, I'll have life path videos going over like different, like what the different life paths do and stuff, and I'll show gameplay. That way, you guys can like decide. But to answer that other question, you can't use flying cars. No flying cars. But for the life paths, they don't matter as much as we all thought that they were going to. I mean, they have some points during the game where like they kind of matter and you have dialogue options and stuff, but it definitely is not as important to the game as we all kind of thought it was going to be and it was kind of blown up to be. Because they all kind of funneled into each other. So if you pick Nomad or Street Kid, the first half an hour of the game you have like an intro to whatever you picked, but then they all converge on the same like cutscene, and then you branch off and you all have like the same exact story after that. So there's a lot of like dialogue options that'll pop up saying like, because I picked Nomad, so anytime Nomad came up as an option in the dialogue, I would pick it, but it didn't like affect the outcome of the story. It was more like a, hey, you're a nomad, well, I'm also a nomad. Or say I'm doing some sort of mission and I have the nomad background, my guy will say like, hey, I'm really good at, you know, fixing vehicles because I have this nomad background. And then they'll just sort of respond to that, be like, oh, well, that could be pretty handy. But that wasn't like the main dialogue options that continue the plot are written in yellow, and then everything else is just sort of like additional dialogue. Well, the life path dialogue is always just like additional dialogue. It never like pushes the story forward. So in that regard, like Street Kid, Nomad, Corpo, it doesn't matter as much as I thought it was going to. I mean, it still has some relevance. It's just not that big of a deal. So I wouldn't stress too much about it. Like, if you guys are freaking out, like, oh my god, which do I pick? It doesn't really matter that much in the long run. I have noticed that you can, like, depending on your life path, I think you can get certain discounts depending on, like, the area that you're at. For example, if you're a nomad, I think you can maybe get some discounts if you like go to the vendors in the nomad area. I think that's a thing. So you'll see some benefits like that. But every single life path has its kind of their own perks and stuff. Is the game worth it for the gigabytes? Because I only want to get the game by deleting Battlefront 2. I may be biased because I love RPGs. I think it's worth the gigabytes. I mean, Call of Duty was like 100 plus gigabytes, and people played that. I mean, this game, I love it. I think it's good. I think it's worth the gigabytes. Oh boy, there's a lot of questions. Compare it to Fallout. I think the dialogue has more weight to it in this game compared to like Fallout and Skyrim. A lot of the things you do in Fallout and Skyrim, it doesn't have much weight to your dialogue options, but a lot of the things that you say in this game kind of actually matter. The gunplay is a little similar to Fallout. I guess I'd compare it to Fallout. I actually, like I said in my impressions video, I didn't like the gunplay at the beginning, like when I first started the game, and I was like kind of turned off by it, and I know a lot of people probably will be too. But the more that you use the weapons, the more fun it gets. Like at the point that I'm at right now, I love the gunplay. I think it's great. I found a really heavy duty like Desert Eagle like hand cannon kind of pistol. It like freaking annihilates people. I found a 50 cal sniper rifle that just blows people's heads off. Like if I get a headshot, I think it does 5 times explosive damage, so they just straight up combust. It's awesome. And then I found an iconic legendary SMG where if I shoot them, they catch on fire. And even though my DPS on that SMG is really low, anytime I catch people on fire, it does just a poop ton of damage. So I really really like the way that the weapons and the gunplay work. It's pretty good. Compare it to RuneScape. Well, I've never played RuneScape, so I don't know. I've seen people play RuneScape, but I can't really make that comparison. How is the driving? The driving I think is clunky. I don't know if it's on purpose that it's clunky, but like you can definitely tell that the shittier vehicles have really crappy handling, and that I think that is on purpose because when you get to like the fancier cars, they definitely handle better. I still can't afford any of the fancy cars because I'm torn. Like I'm to the point right now where it's like buy legendary mantis blades for my character, which is going to cost probably 60,000 or more. I don't even know. So I'm torn between that or like a $200,000 car. I mean, I already have a car. I don't have mantis blades, so but I have stolen fancier cars, like the sports cars, and they do handle pretty well. They're pretty nice. So I'd say the fancier cars handle about as well as Grand Theft Auto, and then the shittier cars just handle like you're driving a block. Like they really suck. No, I'm not making anybody a mod on YouTube because uh I cannot find anybody's chat or name in the chat. Sounds like it was overhyped. I think the game was overhyped to the general public, but to RPG fans, I don't. I mean, I think it lives up to the hype completely. Have I finished the game? Any chance other houses are available, but you haven't seen yet? IGN says it's possible. Oh, well, if they say it's possible. See, I haven't beat the story, so I don't know if there's like a house you can buy. That would be pretty cool. But I've not seen anything in regards to like buying other apartments or anything. I don't think you guys realize how many chats I'm getting right now. There's a crap ton of chat. Oh man. Ask me later to mod him. What percentage? Oh God. Okay, the super chats are rolling in. What percentage of cars can be self-driven? I don't even know what that means. Self-driven, like a Tesla? Like every single car you can call to your position. So if you own a car, if you hit the little button on the D-pad, it'll show up to whatever position that you're at. Which system am I playing on? Is if PS4 is it as bad as people are showing it to be? I'm playing on the Xbox One, and it's probably as bad as people are showing it to be because it's not. I don't think that day one patch has optimized it correctly. Well, like when that patch comes, it'll make it a lot better. I couldn't play it on PC because I couldn't get my hands on a PC copy. I think once the game actually comes out, I'm probably either going to get it on PC, but my PC's not as up to date as it should be, so I'll probably just get it for PS5 and play it again. Can you earn money better? Is there a repeatable quest or something to earn money? There's a bunch of like police missions around the city. I guess I could compare it to like Spider-Man. If you played Marvel Spider-Man, there's like repeatable like crimes going on in the city. Well, there's different crimes going on in this city, and you can, intervene, stop the crime, and you get paid for that. There's a bunch of stuff you can hack, like you can hack vending machines and different stuff like that to get money. Yes, there's full nudity on console. There's a decent amount of ways to get money. I think the best way to farm money would be to just straight up just go around killing bad guys and selling their gear and selling their weapons. I'll make a video going over how to make money and how to like level up quickly because I've already found a few ways to level up faster than intended. So, I mean, I've got a bunch of video ideas lined up for you guys. I'm breathtaking. Well, thank you. Oh boy. Let me see here. In terms of roleplay, can I manipulate your enemies with dialogue? For example, Fallout New Vegas, you can send great cons into suicide. No, in dialogue you can't like convince enemies. But the hacking in this game is really cool. When you guys start this game out, I really recommend that you guys invest into the like quick hacking because quick hacking comes in like a lot of handy. Like it's really, really good. Oh, I got a text from Cookie. What was I saying? Oh, the hacking. It's pretty underrated because I didn't use it for the longest time. I was just going around shooting people. But with the hacking, you can do things like completely blind your enemy. Like you can shut off their cyberware so they can't see, so you can sneak around them or kill them from behind. You can, hack different objects all around the environments. You can hack security cameras. You can catch people on fire with your hacks. Like there's a bunch of hacks that you can do. So you could like, if you want to be completely stealthy, you can totally do that. Like I've switched to a stealth approach for the longest time because I have these perks where I do more damage from stealth. So I'll go around and I'll like turn off the security cameras and I'll like sneak up behind people and break their necks or I mean the hacking is just a really good addition that they've made to the game. So if I could recommend you guys do anything, I would put some points into the hacking. Did my Cyberpunk videos do as well as I wanted? I'd say so. They did pretty well, and it's not over yet. I still have a bunch of videos to do. Is the AI smart? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, yes and no. Because of the bugs and glitches, I think that kind of intervenes with how smart the AI can be, but I think they're pretty smart. Oh boy, I've seen that Judy question a lot. I don't know if you can romance Judy as a boy. I haven't gotten that far. I'm trying though. Anytime Judy texts me or anything, Judy says jump and I say how high. Like if Judy sneezes, I'm there to say bless you. If Judy does anything, I'm all over that. Like I was doing this mission one time where I was like infiltrating this like enemy whatever, and she called me and she's like, V, quick, come to my apartment. And I was like, all right. So I just left what I was doing and drove clear across the city to go see what Judy wanted. uh I'm not ashamed either. I will simp for Judy. Yes, you can censor the nudity. You can turn it off. Field of view slider, does it have it? I don't know, to be honest. I doubt it has it on Xbox and PlayStation. It might have it on Xbox Series X and PS5, but I don't think there is one. Does it feel smooth? Not in the state that I've been playing it in, because it hasn't been very smooth. See, bugs and glitches can always be fixed, but writing and storytelling can't. So if the writing and the plot sucked, then the whole game would suck. But they can always, fine tune the glitches. Those can come in updates down the road. The Witcher 3 launched in a pretty rough state too, and then The Witcher 3 turned out to be amazing. So any bugs that are here before the official launch, I'm not that concerned about. So a month or two down the road, most of the glitches that I've experienced probably aren't even going to be here anymore. I don't know how many bikes there are. I've been on maybe 3 different types of bikes. No, you cannot join gangs, but you can make buddy with the gangs. Yes, this game is way better than the Avengers. How hard difficulty is actually hard? I've been playing on hard difficulty, and I think it's a challenge. You can play on easy, normal, hard, or very hard, and I've been playing on hard, and there's been some times where I've died a few times, and it's been pretty frustrating, but I think it's pretty balanced in the game. I stuck with the nomad life path. Can you make your eyes glow? I think you can make your eyes glow, yeah. How many weapons are there? There's a bunch of weapons. Oh boy. There's like every class. There's like power weapons. There's the smart weapons. There's the tech weapons. And like every single branch of weapon has their own variation. So like there's a tech shotgun and a smart shotgun and a regular shotgun and like a double barrel shotgun. And there's a tech sniper rifle and a regular sniper rifle, and they all have their own different play style to them. So like a tech shotgun is going to act different than a double barrel shotgun. And that's just really freaking cool. And the smart weapons kind of suck until you get like an upgrade with your cyber gear that I think it's an attachment for your hands or for your eyes that make it so like the smart bullets find their targets easier. And once you get that, you could just basically just look in their general direction and shoot your gun and the bullets find the targets. It's really cool. The tech weapons I think can shoot through walls. So I had a really badass tech sniper rifle, which was pretty cool. What else is there that I liked? They have heavy machine guns, which are pretty neat. Is there gambling? I didn't see any gambling. I've been going around a lot of the city doing side quests and stuff, and I've not noticed any like mini games that you can do. No, because I'm sure I would have seen them by now after like 30 plus hours of gameplay. I was in a casino and couldn't do any of the machines in there. So that probably shows you that there's no like gambling mechanics. Yeah, I don't think there's any mini games either. But to be honest, I haven't really stopped and like I've been so busy doing all these side missions and stuff, I haven't really been upset that there hasn't been any mini games. It's not really been a concern because I really liked Gwent in The Witcher 3, but yeah, I haven't noticed anything like that in this game. But there's like the main story missions, and then there's side missions, and then there's missions called gigs, which are like side missions for the side missions, and then there's the police side missions, and then there's like six different variations of side missions that you can do in this game. So there's like so much stuff that you can do. I haven't really been bothered that there isn't any mini games. Remember talk about the long loading times on old gens. It's like playing Skyrim for the first time on PlayStation. It's not made for old gens. Yes, that's a good point. The loading times are long as shit. If you die or need to reload, it's long as fuck. Like if I die, like there was this one point where I had to do this boxing match with a. Oh yeah, that's kind of a mini game. There's boxing matches. I guess that counts. There's like a side quest where you can do boxing fights. Well, I was boxing this one dude who kept kicking my ass, and I really wanted the prize for beating him, which was like an amazing sniper rifle. So I kept loading it every time he kicked my ass so I could beat him. And every time I had to reload it, it was like forever. Like you could, if you die and you're playing on the old gen consoles, you could go take a piss, you could go make a snack or whatever and come back before the game's loaded. Like the loading times are pretty unforgiving on the old gen. But I mean, when everybody eventually makes that upgrade to next gen consoles, you're going to notice the difference in the loading times drastically. How is TJU compared to RDR2 in graphics and FPS? I can't really comment too much on the graphics of this game because I'm not playing it on PC, and the version I've been playing it on has been pretty buggy. It looks okay. I'd compare it, like the version I've been playing it on, I'd say is maybe a little bit better than Grand Theft Auto 5. Probably. But I've also seen gameplay on PC, and it's like a completely different world. Like if you play this on Xbox One or base PS4, it's going to look kind of poopy. But if you play it on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or a PC, you're going to notice a world of difference. Sorry I'm not getting to all these comments. There's just so many. How are the police chases? That's a good question. You don't want to piss off the police at all. Don't do it, ever. Don't piss off the police. They're easy to escape from because they don't give you like a wanted level like in Grand Theft Auto. Like if I piss off the police, you can easily just run away and they'll stop caring. But if you're trying to take them on, or there's been countless times where I've been like fighting a gang, like a group of whoever, and they're bad guys, and it kind of spills out into the street, it'll pop up on your screen saying, hey, what you're doing is illegal, stop it, or the cops will come. If the cops show up, they will fucking like poop on your face. Like they do a bunch of damage. They're like upscaled for some reason. So the police will bring like drones that can shoot you. They don't miss their shots. Like you're just not going to win a fight against the police. And if you kill the police, more police come. So just don't do it. Just stay away from the police officers. It's not worth making them angry. So they do more damage than like Grand Theft Auto police officers, but they're not going to chase you like clear across the city. There's so much crime going on in Night City, they just don't care. Is there a helmet that covers your head? Yes, there is. I currently have a military helmet on my character. Can I go on top of skyscrapers? Maybe. You can go on top of buildings. There's a lot of buildings you can go into, like a bunch of buildings you can go into. And there's you get rewarded for exploring. Like there's a lot of like exploration in buildings that aren't marked on the map. For like for example, I found this like side building that was unmarked, and I just went in and there was this thing on the computer, and Johnny Silverhand popped up and he's like, "Hey, something about this place is like creeping me out. Like something's going on with this house." And I looked around and there was like blood on the floor and there was a safe. But I didn't like I had to unlock the safe. So I checked the computer and there were screams coming from the basement. So I like unlocked the basement door and Johnny kept popping up and he's like, "Hey man, I don't like this. We should probably leave this place." So I went down into the basement and there's like this woman who's been massacred. Like she's all bloodied and cut into pieces. And there's this crazy drugged out psychopath woman who has mantis blades and she's like 20 levels higher than me, and she's like jumping across the room and she has her mantis blades out and she's trying to kill me. And I eventually kind of like cheesed her. I went up the stairs and like hid behind the corner and blew her to pieces with my sniper rifle. But then after I looted her, she had like a legendary gun on her, and she had some really good loot. And I think she had like a exotic or not exotic, epic outfit that I got, and that was completely off the radar, off the map. I would have never found it any other way. I just kind of stumbled upon it, so that was pretty cool. Um, yes, you can have melee builds. The melee weapons feel kind of clunky. You have katanas, you have wrenches and knives, and I think there's a dildo bat. There's a cane. You can use your fists. I mean, you can definitely have a melee build if you want a melee build, and there's perks that are based around melee builds, so you can totally do it. It's just going to be very difficult because you don't want to like, run into a group of people that all have guns and you just have your fists. Like I've tried to use my katana sword against like a group of people, it just doesn't work out because they just mow you down, and here you are trying to use a sword against them. But I think the thing I'm saving up for is the mantis blades. I really want to get those. I have a video that I'm already making which shows you guys where you can get um, the best cyberware. So I have that video coming out. I have a video showing where you can get the best weapons as well. I have quite a few of those videos that are planned to go out. Now there is something interesting about the loot pool. It's going to be really interesting to see what YouTubers do. I think they're going to get pretty clickbaity because the loot pool in this game is not a set loot pool. It's just randomly generated. So for example, if I go kill a boss and that boss is guaranteed to drop a legendary best kind of weapon, if I get a pistol, all you guys in the chat are going to get something different. Like it'll have like a guaranteed legendary drop, but it won't be the same weapon. If that makes sense. Because I did a boss fight and I killed him, and I got the a weapon, but then I died like a couple seconds later, and I had to go back into my save and redo that boss fight. Well, that boss gave me a different weapon than what I got the first time. So I got to thinking of like, well, does this happen for everything? And it does. So if you want to farm a boss and you want to get that specific weapon that you're looking for, you can kill them, loot them. If you don't like it, reload your save, kill them, loot them. If you wanted to do that way and cheese it, you have that option. Same kind of goes for the vendors. The vendors' loot isn't a set loot. It kind of refreshes. So like the vendors are all going to have just random stuff. Oh, excuse me. Now the vendors will have like 2 or 3 things that are set. For example, there's this one really good vendor I found. He sells like a legendary sniper and a legendary shotgun. I went back to that same vendor like a good 6 or 7 times, and he had those same two weapons, those legendary sniper and shotgun, but everything else kept changing in his inventory. So I think he keeps his best items like the vendors do, and then everything else constantly cycles. Which I kind of like it that way. It switches it up. It gives you a reason to like keep checking on the vendors to see if they're selling anything good. So that's pretty cool. I don't know when the multiplayer's coming out.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
Um, can you become a vigilante like Batman? I guess if you want to pretend that you're Batman, I don't know. The NPC is pretty smart. Like if you get spotted and the enemies are aware that you're like in their base or whatever, they're gonna keep looking for you. I don't think they ever stop looking for you because they're not so stupid that you can stand in front of them and they're like, hey, I just saw this bad guy, and then they're like, oh, it must have been the wind. They're not that dumb. Like they're gonna keep looking for you. So I think that was pretty neat. There's no lack of bad guys either. Like there's there's a bunch of bad guys. You cannot own property, no. Um I seem kind of disappointed. I'm not. No, I'm not really disappointed. The only thing I'm disappointed in is the fact that like the day one patch isn't here yet. I won't know how like disappointed I truly am until that day one patch comes. If the game is pretty buggy after that patch, then yeah, I'll probably be disappointed that there's a lot of bugs. But not until then. I've been enjoying it. I'm like I haven't beaten the game, so I can't put a true score on the game yet. But I'm sitting at probably like a 9 out of 10 based off of what I've played so far. Do you play as Keanu? Well, I can't talk too much about Keanu Reeves because he has a lot to do with the storyline. So I can't really say anything without spoiling it. He does pop up in some side quests. Like if you do side missions, he'll be there and he'll you know, say something smart or he'll give you a suggestion. I've had quite a number of times where Keanu pops up, or I don't know why I keep calling him Keanu. Johnny Silverhand pops up and he'll give you, his opinion on a dialogue choice. He'll be like, I don't know why you're helping this person, or I don't know why you should do this. Like, I think you should do this. So you can choose to, like, go with what Johnny says, but there's been a couple times where I thought Johnny was just wrong and I didn't go with Johnny. But I don't know. He could have been right. I haven't gotten far enough to figure it out yet or not. But I like that Johnny keeps popping up in the story. It's pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of the Joker from the Batman games, where the Joker would just pop up, and it was kind of like a treat anytime the Joker would pop up. It's the same with Johnny. Anytime Johnny pops up, I get kind of excited. Anytime I see him, I'm like, "Oh, look, there he is. He's just chilling. He's right there." Can you pet dogs? I don't think I've seen any dogs. I saw a cat. You can pet the cat. I know that. But I don't think I've seen any dogs. But I haven't really been looking for them either. But I did notice a cat. Can I join the Dark Brotherhood? Oh boy, there's so many questions about Judy. I'm gonna have to like make a video about Judy. Is what I'm gonna have to do. That's what that's telling me. Is there's so many horny people for Judy. I need to make a Judy video. Can you eat food? Yeah, that's kind of a small nitpick I have is when it comes to the food and stuff and the drinking at bars. The only time that I've noticed you can like drink is if it's related to dialogue options. Like if I go to a bar and I tell them, "Hey, I want to order a drink," it opens up their inventory so I can buy snacks from them. I don't want to do that. If I go to a bar, I don't want to buy snacks. I don't want to open up an inventory. I want to sit there and take drinks and get drunk and then walk around the city drunk. That's what I want to do. Same thing when you go to like food stalls. Like if you go to order food from anywhere, it just opens up a menu where you can buy food from the person. No, you cannot upgrade your apartment. Did I spend too much time on Jig Jig Street? I actually didn't spend that much time on Jig Jig Street. I was kind of disappointed with Jig Jig Street because what we saw in that gameplay demo was basically all of Jig Jig Street. Like I wanted to go and look at all the sex stuff, but there really kind of wasn't. You can only go inside of like 2 or 3 different stores. There's a lot of prostitutes on Jig Jig Street, so if you want to get with some prostitutes, you can do that. Yes, there are trench coats in the game if you want a trench coat. Yes, I definitely cannot read every question. Holy shit, I'm almost at 98,000 subs. I am past 98,000 subs. I'm at 98,082 subscribers. I should be hitting 100,000 subscribers. Probably by next week, which is fucking crazy because I've been grinding so hard and so long. Oh man, like I'm more proud of hitting 100K subs than I am like my college degree. You have no idea. Do I think the delays were worth it? I don't know because I don't know what. Probably, because if the game was put in the state that I played it in, I mean, it went gold a while ago. So like they printed the copies on disc a while ago. So they've had like a good what close to 2 months to make updates and stuff that are going to be in the day one update that wasn't on the physical disc that I'm playing. So there's going to be some bug fixes. Yes, I will get stupid drunk at 100,000 subscribers. The hacking is good. I really like the hacking. I'm not disappointed with the hacking. There's like a hacking little mini game that you do, but you do it so often it kind of gets a little repetitive. Like when you hack computers or vending machines or terminals, you basically just take your little implant and you plug it into the machine and you hack it, and then you can get money from hacking or crafting materials from hacking. But it's the same mini game every single time you do it. So, for example, I went into one building, but there was like 8 different terminals I could hack in the same building. So I have to go into every single terminal, play the hacking mini game. You have to like match up the lines, so it'll be like pick 7 and then 14, and you have to basically do math for this mini game 8 times in a row, or however many times there is. Like I could avoid that completely, but if you want to make money, that's a good way to make money, is doing that hacking mini game. But you find yourself doing it so often that it gets a little repetitive. So they need to add like at least 1 or 2 different variations to the hacking mini game, I think, and I think that'll make it better. What's the weather system like? It's pretty good. I mean, it rains, it's sunny. That's kind of it. It's just sunny or it rains. There was a sandstorm out in the Badlands that I experienced. That was pretty cool.
Fulfilling your destiny.
You've been subbed to me since Battlefront Hide and Seek. Oh, I'm glad you stuck around. How immersive is the game? I will say this. This game has me the most immersed in a storyline probably ever. Like, something about the writing and the characters in this game is like phenomenal. It's like top tier. The story, you feel connected with the characters on a different level than I have in like most other video games. Like, it's really, really good. You can feel the emotion in a lot of the characters. I don't know how it stacks up to Skyrim yet, because I've played Skyrim multiple times all the way through. This game has potential to play it like a bunch of replayability. Like, if you play the game, you could easily restart it up with a different life path and do a completely different play style. Like, I could do a stealth build, or I could be like a nomad gunner and just go around mowing people down, or if I want to be a corpo that tries to just not kill anybody ever and just want to be a pacifist. And there's a bunch of different options for replayability. Does it say hacking will kill or incapacitate? You can do either or. There are some hacks that will kill people, and then there's hacks that can just like knock them out. I'm pretty sure. Because there's like this one hack that does chemical damage, and if anybody's near them, it will do chemical damage to their buddies too. There's hacks that I think disables their stuff completely, so they'll just like deactivate, which will like knock them out. I mean, there's a bunch of different hacks. But this game has like so many perks, it's pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of perks. Like, a lot of perks. And based off of what I've played so far, I would pick like one perk tree and stick with that. Otherwise, you're going to have a struggle. Like, I wouldn't mix and match. I wouldn't put points into melee and some points into pistols and some points into rifles, because you're going to have a really hard time. I'd just stick with like whatever your favorite is. If you like melee weapons, stick with melee perk tree. Crafting is really handy. You can get to the point where you can craft your own legendary weapons. You can upgrade your weapons from like normal to rare to rare to epic to epic to legendary. So the crafting can be very, very handy. You can craft your own ammo. You can craft your own grenades and health kits. You can craft your own armor. Crafting is pretty good. You can also, there's perks where you can sell your crafted items for more money. So if you have the parts, you can craft like 6 or 7 weapons and then go sell them for a marked up price and make a profit that way. There's like so many different options. Check my donations. Everybody's saying check my donations. What happened? Somebody donate. I don't have my stream labels up. Oh boy, Irvington gave $100 fucking dollars. Wow. He says, hello, glad to see your channel growing, Swanee. Hello to chat, proud simp. Well, thank you so much, Irvington. $100 is,
I like money.
that deserves a soundboard. Soundboard spam.
I like money. The sweet smell of money. I like money. The sweet smell of money. Force works. Ah, the sweet smell of money.
Leveling up there's actually two different types of, there's actually kind of 3 types of leveling. Leveling up can take a while, and a lot of the things are locked behind your street cred. You can't do certain things unless you have high street cred, so you have to go around and do side missions and shit. For example, like, you can't get the best cyberware unless you have like the max level street cred, which is 50. So I'm like level 42 street cred. So like, anytime you kill bad guys, your street cred goes up. Anytime you do missions, your street cred goes up. Side missions, it goes up. So you kind of have to go out and grind to level up your street cred. And then you also have to level up your individual perks. It's kind of hard to explain. You'll get it once you like play it yourself, but it does take a while to level up. And like I said, I'll make some videos showing off like the fastest ways to level up. Uh, yeah, you can make money other than doing missions. You can sell things. You can. There's a lot of selling things. Like you could just literally just go farming for items and sell them to people. I don't think there's barber shops. Not that I've seen. I don't know if there's a level cap because I'm not even close to hitting the level cap if there is one. Is it better or worse than I expected? I think it's on par with what I expected. Somebody gave 1,970 bits.
Story stacks up to other RPGs like Skyrim or Fallout.
How does it stack up? Hey, as of right now, it's right up there with other RPGs like Skyrim and Fallout. I really like it. Is it better than GTA 5? Well, GTA 5 has that whole online multiplayer aspect. I think it's better than GTA 5 story and some aspects of GTA 5. If this game's online is as good as what I think it could be, I think it'll be way better than GTA 5. But GTA 5 has got like years and years and years of content though, so it's kind of hard to compare them. Like Grand Theft Auto's got all those vehicles that you can buy. I know I've missed some of your guys' donations, and I'm sorry. I haven't had this many viewers in a long time, so the chat's pretty intense. So I appreciate all your guys' donations. I've played probably close to 40 hours. Can I make a female with male parts? Yeah, you can mix and match. Like if you want to pick a dude but have a female voice, you can do that, and vice versa. I don't know if you can pick the chick and give her a penis. Oh no, you can do that. You can do that because I remember when I was looking at the penis options, you could have a vagina. So if you want to be a dude with a vagina, or if you want to be a chick with a dick, you have that option. How is movement? What does it entail? How is sliding, vaulting, climbing? Does it feel good?
How is movement?
I think it's good.
How is sliding, vaulting, and climbing? Does it feel good?
Let me
How does the world move
mute it again.
vertically?
That way it doesn't echo. I think the vaulting and the climbing and stuff feels good. It feels as good as it can for an RPG. It's not like comparable to Call of Duty or anything, but for an RPG, it's pretty good for like the sliding and climbing and stuff.
Fulfilling your destiny.
Yes, there are male sex workers, and they don't like. You can pick whatever. So like if you're playing as a straight dude or whatever, you can just go up to any sex worker. They don't care. So if I wanted to go hook up with a male prostitute, I could, or a female prostitute. It doesn't matter what you pick. Yes, you can play without cyberware if you want to. There's some cyberware that they force you to have. You have to have the implant in your eye, and you have to have the grip that they give you that we saw in the like early gameplay stuff. But other than that, you don't have to have any other attachments. You even have the option to, if you wanted, you could unattach the cyberware that they forced you to get applied. So you could go with no cyberware at all. I don't recommend it in the slightest because you're going to have a huge disadvantage. But if for some reason you don't want cyberware, you don't have to have any. Can you have tattoos? I don't know. I haven't seen too many customization options that are like I haven't seen any barber shops, but I haven't looked for any of that stuff either, so there might be some. You cannot play as an animal. It is breathtaking. Stealth is. I don't want to give away too much because I have a video going into the specifics of stealth and how good it is for everybody. Plus, I am also competing with like all the other YouTubers, so I don't want to like throw out all my ideas for videos because I have quite a few planned. But stealth is pretty important, I'll put it that way. So there is no end game. I have to go back to the old save before last mission. That I don't know.
Hello, Swanee.
Thank you for the $5. I haven't beaten the game. If there is no end game, that would definitely suck. I have no clue. I don't know if other outlets have reported that there is no end game or not. I don't know.
So is there no end game? Disappointed I have to go back to an old save before the last mission?
You're fulfilling your destiny.
My biggest complaint beside the glitches. If this game had absolutely no glitches at all, I don't think I'd have very many complaints. Other than, okay, I guess the fact that whatever armor you pick changes the way you look and you just have to wear whatever the best armor is and you just look like a doofus. I don't like that. I don't like the lack of apartment customization and the lack of like your apartment making a difference. I wish there was more stuff to do with apartments. I wish there was vehicle customization. That part kind of bothers me too. I wish that you could customize your vehicles, but you can't. But alright guys, I'm going to end this video here, this stream. That way I can get back to making videos and stuff. I will have a video going live tomorrow because I've already started recording it. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I already talked about in this stream, but I'm going to talk about some of the misconceptions and stuff that are getting spread around there from the reviews. So that video should go out tomorrow, and then Wednesday's the day. Soundtrack's good. I like the soundtrack. Swimming, I've only swam twice, and it was okay. I haven't, like, explored underwater, though. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everybody that donated and stuff. That helps me out a ton. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I'll probably do another Q&A like this tomorrow, too. That way, you guys can get more of your questions answered. But this is goodbye.